In 1925, Ford Motor Company made history by opening its first Australian plant in Geelong, Victoria. From humble beginnings assembling the Model T, Ford quickly became a household name down under. By the 1960s, the Ford Falcon was born, a car that would go on to become an Australian icon, loved for its power and durability. Ford wasn't just building cars, it was shaping Australian culture. From the racetrack to the outback, the company's commitment to local manufacturing lasted nearly a century, with plants in Victoria producing everything from the Cortina to the Territory SUV. But in 2016, a major chapter closed as Ford ended manufacturing in Australia. Still, the legacy lives on through classic cars, loyal fans, and a design and engineering team that continues to innovate right here at home. Welcome back to another video, guys. We're not at the factory and we're not at the Wreckers and we're not at Gray's. We are at All 4 Day today in Geelong, Victoria. And right now we're in the line trying to get in. It's very, very long. I'm very keen to see all the cars that have arrived today. Right now we are with the Ford Performance Salvage Group, aka Sunny, and we're in his Rapid Yellow BA Typhoon, which makes 470 kilowatts at the wheels, and it's a manual. Is it fun to drive, Peter?
Oh yeah,
It's
definitely
so
puts a
fun.
smile on your face.
Yeah, it's. I've been in a auto F6 that made 430. This thing is like, it feels like a visceral like Jap car to be in. We've got some really cool cars, even the cars that Sunny brought. So we got an R-Spec, this BA Typhoon, P001, the first ever F6 ever made. He has. What else does he have?
The first ever BF F6 too.
Yeah, Bionic F6, BF F6 as well. So that's very, very cool. But yeah, when we get inside, I'll show you guys around. Before we continue on with today's video, I have a quick interruption to show you guys a new jet tag I've released on my new store, crumb.store. If you don't know what crumb means, basically means that your car's a bit of a piece of crap, but there's no need to be ashamed of it because that's what we like to embrace here on my channel. And that's why I released these jet tags. So if you have a crumb car, like this S15 here, looks pretty good on the outside, but it is crumb at the end of the day. Cop yourself a jet tag on crumb.store. It's a really simple way of locating your keys as well.
Yeah, good one, dickhead.
It also helps you locate your keys because it's got some nice bright colors on the back, parts of donor, and crumb, of course. So if you want to help support the builds on the channel, head over to crumb.store and cop yourself a jet tag. Now, back to the action. So we're here All 4 Day 2025. It's so freaking windy here, so I'm having to use my phone to record audio, but we're starting off with Sunny from Ford Performance Salvage. We came down with all of his cars, so we're going to go through them one by one, then we'll move through to all the other cars I find interesting. This year is pretty special because it's 100 years of Ford in Australia. Obviously, Ford doesn't exist in Australia anymore, so I think events like this are really important to keep everyone together and whatnot. But we'll start off with Sunny's, I guess, prized possession, the car he'll probably never get rid of. This is his BA Typhoon. So Sunny has owned this particular car on and off since 2009. He sold it, then he bought it back one time. So this thing has sort of a budget bolt-on build. So it's got a high flow turbo. It's got head bolts, no head studs, no oil pump gears, but it makes north of 470 rear wheel kilowatts and it's manual. So as you can see, like, this is a pretty clean car. We've walked around the whole show and I have not seen a single BA Typhoon. So I think it's pretty special, even though like in the grand scheme of things, it's just a Typhoon. There's a million of them here. This is a BA and it's basically the only one as far as I've seen. So this thing is savage. So we're moving on from the BA to Sunny's BF Mark II R-Spec. So this is also an FPV Typhoon, but the difference you can see in the front bars from BA to BF. The BA is sort of more squared off, more angular, looks a bit more modern. But what makes this car special is that it's an R-Spec. It only came out in BF Mark II, and there were only 300 of them. They had some special code, 8K. So the differences between a normal Typhoon and an R-Spec is that it's got different accents on the pillars of the spoiler. It's got obviously the R-Spec badges, different floor mats, very important. That's pretty much it, but it is the only limited run of an F6 ever. FG, BA, BF, the only one. So that's what makes it really cool. This one, completely stock. It's actually unregistered because this is basically the only time it gets driven to all 4 day every year. Obviously it gets started up and putt-putted around town, so the tires don't get flat spot and whatnot, but very cool car. Love B series. Moving on from the two B series here, so we got the BA, BF R-Spec. This one, they just kept getting even more special. So this one here is the first ever BF Typhoon. First ever. This is build number P0001. This is the car they showed off at Sydney Motor Show back when it was released. This is the first ever automatic Typhoon. This particular one is fully loaded. So it's got sunroof, leather seats, 6 4 Brembos, there's 6 pots in the front, 4 pots in the rear. And again, it's also unregistered, never gets driven. It's a collector's car. Like it's the first ever one. So like you wouldn't really want to rack up too many miles on this. Obviously, like I said, same with this one. They do get started up. They do get serviced every year religiously. Yeah, this one's finished in Bionic Blue. This is probably one of my favorite colors because it's so out there for the time that it was released. Usually you see Falcons in white and silver, but you never see them in rapid yellow or Bionic Blue. So it's pretty cool to see. This is probably the most special B series out of the whole lot. This is the first ever 6-cylinder FPV made. This one here, this is also build number 0001. Again, what makes this thing really special is that it's the first 6-cylinder FPV. So this one's also a really highly optioned. It's got sunroof, leather, everything. And being a BA, they only came in manual, which is pretty special as well. Clearly stock, only driven when it has to be. It's pretty surreal standing next to all these really special cars, especially these two, because they are the first of their kind. And now there's a lot of history behind it with FG, F6s and whatnot. So yeah, very, very cool. This is one of the guys that cruised up with us. This is an EL XR6, so very dear to my heart. As you guys may know, I've got an EF XR6 at home. Also in the process of being finished up. It is turbo, but it's a bit of a long-winded project. This one here is not an AU motor. It's actually the original stock motor that came in the car with forged pistons, stock rods. It's got a cam, it's got valve springs and head studs and an MLS head gasket. Big China turbo strapped to the side of it, and it is running a Barra ECU on full E85. Because it's running a Barra ECU, it means you can delete the distributor system that ELs came with, so it's running Barra coils as well. Now this thing's crazy. It made 404 kilowatts at the hubs through a T56 manual as well. Oh, another thing I really like, I'm a big nerd about this, the original plates. You don't see that nowadays, so yeah, love it. Big shout out to the owner for doing such a nice build on this thing. We've moved on now from where we were camping, looking at all the B series and the EL. FG Mark II, this one's done super nice. It's in kinetic blue, pretty common color. I'm pretty sure this is one of the launch colors for the FG and FG Mark II. You see them everywhere, but when they're done like this, Very, very nice. So the one thing I like about Holden owners and Ford owners is that they don't go too crazy on the styling. All you really got to do to make a Holden or a Ford look good is literally lower it on the standard wheels, and that's it. So this one, I'm guessing, has all of its usual bolt-ons, head studs, valve springs, oil pump gears, bigger turbo. This is a Lux pack by the looks of it, so got the Lux pack 19-inch wheels. This one's got sunny on tilt, gotta have the sunny on tilt. And yeah, it's bloody sacked as well. Look at the back. Looks like it's got some wheel spaces as well. It's just done really nice, so big respect to the owner. I've seen this car a few times on TikTok. Got a bunch of FGs here. FG Mark 1, got Mark 2 headlights. Looks like a turbo as well. Got the intercooler sticking out the front. This one looks like an XR50, so 50th anniversary edition. XR50 wheels, love the wheels. Like FG Mark 2, Mark 1, Mark 1 G6C turbo. We've got an Octane XR6 turbo, Mark 2 as well. There's just heaps. I could be here all day, honestly. I'll make the video 5 hours long. Don't have all day, so let's keep moving. All right, we've moved on from FGs to FGs, and a B series, of course. This one over here, this is probably my favorite B series build. I've been following this guy on Instagram and wherever I could find him, TikTok. Started off as a factory NA manual, I'm pretty sure, and it's now got this hectic turbo motor in it. Just hearing through the grapevine, pretty sure he's been through one turbo motor already, so he got this thing done at max with a built motor. And this is probably my favorite part, low mount 6-boost manifold. You don't really see that nowadays. I only know one other guy, Hugh, with a low mount 6-boost manifold. So yeah, very, very nice build, and gotta have the skids Falc on Jap wheels. So anyway, moving on. Got a surprise for you guys. Look at this. Look, the EF's done. Can't believe it. It's here. It's made it. I wish. Anyway, this is a Le Mans Red EF XR6, which I also own. This one is a whole lot nicer than mine though. I guarantee the frame rails haven't been chopped. It doesn't have an AE subframe. It's all original. It's got, looks like EL GT rims. Sunny as well, that's very cool. Love that. XR6, of course, gotta have the XR6. No one cares about the XR8. XR6 all the way. Got the full lip kit as well, which is absurdly expensive nowadays to get. I'm not even gonna try because mine's gonna be a drift car. It's just gonna get demolished anyways. But this thing is super clean. I don't know if it's had a respray or not. It might have, because the paint is way too nice. They usually all turn pink by today's age. If you keep them outside for more than 1 minute, they turn pink. So this thing's definitely had a respray, which is good. All right, the cameraman Peter and I were having a bit of a debate. EL front end or EF front end? I'm a bit biased, but even before I bought mine, I always thought that the EF front end looked nicer because it's just smooth. I can get around the grille in the front, but it just sort of, I feel like it messes up the body lines in the front a little bit. But look, I'd be happy with either of these cars, honestly. Peter, what do you reckon?
EL all the way.
Fair enough. Either one they're beautiful cars, so can't say much. Briefly just had a chat with one of the guys that runs E-Series Owners Club. Super nice guy, Nick. Massive shout out to you. This is his car. It's an XH. And as you can see, it's got a Barra in it. Big turbo as well. With the E-Series, you got to chop the sump on a Barra to fit it in. So he's done that. And I'm sure he's done all the basic bolt-ons and whatnot. Very nice car, very unique paint as well. And I love the plates as well, Mint XH. I'm gonna try and head into unknown territory for me. Anything that's like pre-1990, I have almost no idea about when it comes to Falcons. XDs and XCs I sort of know about, but like XWs, XYs, XAs, I have no idea about. So we're gonna head there and I'm gonna try and spit some bullshit about them. I love them, I just know nothing about them. So let's go. All right, we've moved into unknown territory here for me. XY. I'm locking it in now. XY Falcon GT 351, so it's got a small block Ford in it. 5.8 litre V8, I think. Don't exactly know what's been done to it, but I know it's got a small block Ford in it. It's got a 4-speed manual. It also says Subaru here. I love the way these things look, but unfortunately, none of my friends, no one that I know really owns them. so I know nothing about them, but I can definitely appreciate, and I would definitely own one. I love old cars. Another cool thing about this, it's got a sunroof and it looks factory as well. So it wouldn't be electric or anything. It'd probably either be a latch or like one of those windy ones, which is pretty cool. But yeah, XY GT. Fantastic. Yeah. 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 All right, another car I know absolutely nothing about, but I love them. I knew this was an XA even before I read the number plate because they just look really distinct from the back, and you can tell. I've actually been in an XA. My mate James, back in the day, he took me in it, and that was probably the first old car I ever went in, and it was like a massive eye-opener because I just never really gave old cars a thought until I went in one, and now I understand why people love them so much. They're so raw and visceral, and it's kind of crazy to think that people daily drove cars like that. We're all so used to luxury and air conditioning and this and that. Yeah, like even old cars, they're comfortable, so I can understand why people really like these old cars. This thing, also a GT. I'm assuming it also has a 351 Clevo in it. This one is an automatic, so again, I'm assuming it has a C4 transmission. Could have a C10. Love the color. I love how original it is. Also not on club reg, which is pretty rare as well nowadays. Yeah, I think the only mod really that I can see from the outside are the wheels. They look a bit bigger than usual, but beautiful car. So funnily enough, when I was filming that XA, a subscriber of mine came up to me and said he's got the same car and he'd love to show it to me, and I'm glad he did because this thing is absolutely beautiful. So this XA actually started out life as a 6-cylinder, 3-speed column shift auto. It was his late father's car, so he picked up the project where his dad left off and he finished it off beautifully. It's painted in a Renault color, funnily enough. It's got a stroked out 351, 378 cubes, converted from auto to manual, so it's got a 4-speed top-loader gearbox. If you just have a look at the quality of the paint, it's crazy. Honestly, lost for words. I don't know what to say. The only thing he's yet to do is convert the 8 3/4 diff to a 9-inch, and that's basically it. So it's had a full GT driveline swap, except that all the parts, all the wheels, the body kit, the badges, everything. So massive shout out to Ross. You're a legend. This car is extremely special. If you don't know why, because it's the very last Falcon that was ever made in Australia. Of course, it is the one and only XR6 Turbo Sprint. The Sprint name goes all the way back to the X Series Falcons as well. This XR6 Sprint is finished in Victory Gold. Makes a lot of sense, Victory, finish. So it's the end of the Falcon production, I guess. These things are only gonna go up in value, like they don't make them anymore, and it was the very last Falcon, so it's super special. The difference between a normal XR6 and an XR6 Sprint is you get a really cool carbon air snorkel, get more power, a special valve cover as well, which has like the plaque of the build number, 6-pot front Brembos, 4-pot rears, the fog light bezels as well. There's a brake duct for them. The inside of the headlights, the backing of it is black as well, and obviously the black grills and accents and whatnot. So they could overboost as well. Not quite sure how much power they can overboost to, but if the conditions are absolutely perfect, they will overboost a little bit. So yeah, very cool car. They slapped everything they knew into these things, and yeah, they went out with a big bang.